All right. Hi, guys. We are on for our weekly Wednesday wisdom. Hello. Thank you so much for being on our live today. I'm so glad you're here. And if this is your first time attending like one of my lives, I want you to know you're welcome and you're in for a ride because I share everything from conquering your career in life, resume tips, mindset shifts, health and wellness, all that related to your life, your career, because you can't really serve an organization if you aren't healthy from head to toe, inside and out, right? And today's topic, guys, we're going to be talking about negotiation. So many of you guys, you come to me after you've been searching for a job, you land a couple of interviews, and then the negotiation question comes up. It came up last night in one of my conversations. Like, you know you're valuable, right? That's the thing, you know it is, but you're not sure if the company knows you're valuable, right? And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple of really important tips to conquer your negotiations. Who's ready? All right. So what I want you to do first is think of a prior success that you've had as a part of your negotiation strategy. And why do you say we do that? So when we consider a time in which we're successful, what do? We feel better, right? It's a lot of it's in our mind, guys. Okay, so when you increase your chances of performing in your next negotiation because you feel better, right? Boom, mic drop, I'm done. Just kidding, guys. Let's move on. So when you have that prior moment in your head, you visualize it. You start to feel happy, right? Empowered, you're proud, right? In a way that is such a positive impact on whatever issue you're working on, okay? And whether that's negotiating a job offer, benefits, a raise, a relocation, any of those things, guys, okay? There's been so many studies done that show that focusing on positive events may increase your creativity and your resourcefulness. And I think we do need that in negotiation, right? Creativity and resourcefulness. I think so. I mean, Harvard Business School even says, right, positive feelings, I'm going to read it, their quote exactly, positive feelings increase creativity, which in turn can lead to positive feelings within a team or organization. Creativity is particularly important in negotiation when the parties are at a deadlock. Think about that. That's pretty cool, huh? I mean, so how do you start? You're like, Vennessa, how in the world do I start? Well, first, visualize your last success. Like, literally close your eyes and think about it. Picture that last success in as much detail as possible. Like, no joke, like, what were you wearing? Who was around you? Like, what posture were you holding? Were you kind of like hunched over, or were you like standing up straight? You were like excited. Were you moving your hands like I do being Italian, right? Think about that. And then in addition to that, visualize the time leading up to the success too. Think about that too, okay? How you prepared, your thoughts, your emotions. So the more you can picture that stuff in detail, the better you're going to perform next time, because you're going to be repeating those same feelings and actions, preparation and posture. It's almost like it's common sense, right? We think about it and we're like, duh, right? But what if you say to me, and I've had this happen, I don't have a prior success. Cool. Guys, let's say you're working through a career change. And I read this in a negotiation book, and I'm going to show it to you right now. And for those of you who are listening later on, it is Ask for More. Okay. It is a great book. And, you know, it was genius in there. Think about it. Does that actually count as a negotiation, a career change? Absolutely, it does. You're literally steering your career towards specific goals. But let's say you were fired from your last job. I mean, you laid off, right? I mean, you hated the job anyways, so who cares, right? But you've never been fired before. You've never been laid off before. So what do you need to do? Think differently. Think like this. First, accept, guys, that the past work relationship or environments, which was not successful from your point of view, actually did serve a purpose at that time. And this work now, it's ended. Okay, it's ended. It's okay, right? Then number two, figure out a new, more satisfying direction. And I know, again, that sounds like easier than it actually is. But now when you think of a prior work experience that was successful, right? Because there were parts of it that were successful. So you got to break it down a little bit. Just because that last job or that work environment wasn't at the end of the relationship successful doesn't mean there weren't parts of it that were. Okay. So you can also, it doesn't have to be a work experience either. Okay. It could be a personal relationship. Think of it like when you're dating, right? Perhaps there was a long distance relationship and it just wasn't working, right? So there was good aspects of it. And then the other person was nice, but you weren't meant to be, and that's okay, right? You kind of parted ways. You were sad for a couple of days, but after that, you were excited for the future and you started freeing yourself up for that next relationship. How cool is that, right? We've all done it. Okay. So what you actually can gain from this is that you did achieve success by designing a new chapter in your life. Whoa, right? A new chapter in your life. You can recognize that the firing or the laying off or whatever step it was, it's towards designing a better future for yourself. You're all like, Vennessa, come on. Like, how does that even relate to my situation? Guys, again, think about any time in your life when things went really well at work or in your personal life, health, right? Any of that stuff. And then you receive some positive feedback. We all have, guys. You have to think deep. You have to think deep. Maybe where you were like down on confidence and someone like boosted you up and that got you to your next step. And then you were able to handle the next negotiation better. Okay, guys, we negotiate in our lives every single day with ourselves, with other people. It's nothing new. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to focus on the successful ones because there's negotiations that we lose, right? There is. You got to be realistic with yourself. And there's ones that we succeed at. So dive deep into that. Which ones are you succeeding at? Okay. Think about how you felt in those, the good ones, what your surroundings were. Maybe it was like, hey, it was a sunny day. And every time I have a good negotiation, it's a sunny day. If that's the case, awesome. Find something else too, because you can't control that part. But think about, what led up to those successes. Okay, seriously, guys, visualization works, right? You think about this, you're like, athletes, they visualize every step, how they felt. They rerun the tapes over and over and over again for a reason, because they knew if they were successful in one area and they did that, they had that play really well. They ran it out really well. Just like the same thing, I'm a musician. When I'm sitting there and I'm doing a concert, I think about the things that I did well and the things I didn't, and focus on the well and how I was feeling, what I experienced, what the audience was like, atmosphere, everything. And it helped me to do well the next time. But when I didn't do that, and when these athletes don't do that, guess what? You're not as successful, and it's actually harder. Okay? It is. Okay, guys, I dive so incredibly deep into these techniques in my coaching with my clients in our groups and one-to-one because, guys, it's fun. It is fun. It's easier than you think, but you have to remove some of that mental baggage that we all have to get through to be our best selves, right? Going through a layoff, or getting fired, or ending a bad relationship, or being in a toxic environment, it stinks. And it messes with our minds all day long if we don't have the right tools and techniques in place, right? So if you're watching this live and you're like, I need more input like this as I'm thinking about my career transition and my job search, like how do I optimize my search? How can I get into diving deeper into negotiation strategies and techniques? I don't even know where to start, Vennessa, or I've been at this for a while and I'm like, ah! Okay, guys, I want you to be able to join me in my private LinkedIn and Facebook groups, guys. And, if you're watching on Instagram too, join us in those groups, guys, because I have a serious set of rock star plans that are going to positively impact not only your career and job search, but your life long term. My goal is always to say, okay, I'm not just going to give you a resume update. I'm not just going to update your LinkedIn. I'm not going to give you a couple of templates or tools or whatever like that. We're here to help change you so you can be a better person to our communities, okay? That's what it's all about. I don't want you to have to keep coming back to me for the same thing. That's me not doing my job, right? We want you to have the community that you need, right? today's days, it's hard to be in physical community with people. So we work really hard on that in our groups, okay? So we want you to have the best thinking on these topics, okay? That's important. And so I want you to also stay tuned. We do this every Wednesday. So if you have a topic you're like, we need to talk about, make sure you comment on these videos or send me a message, because I want to make sure I address those topics for you. And guys, we have some big stuff happening here in 2021. And the only way you're going to find out is in those groups. So I'll put the link in the notes, in the comments there, so you guys have it. And I'm gonna see you guys next time, because this is awesome and I enjoyed doing it. All right, guys. So have a good day, and we will see you next Wednesday.